Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. It is time for another full face of nothing new, which is where I do a full face using no new products. It's very self-explanatory, but these are some of my favorite videos to film, you guys. Today I felt like really throwing it back with a few of these products. I know sometimes I have different themes. The last one I did was a holiday edition. I've done full drugstore throwbacks. I've done other random ones, but this one I really tried to find products that I haven't used in forever that I used to really love. So here's the before and after so you guys can see exactly the look that we're going to be creating. I just kind of go with the flow with these videos, and my hope is that you guys will feel like you can take a break from new launches, that you can just enjoy what you've got and maybe go through some of your makeup that you haven't tried in a while that maybe you used to love and give it a go today as we get ready together. So let's get right into the video. I did my brows. You guys, I used the Anastasia Dip Brow. If you have been with me for a while, you would have known that I used to be obsessed with this. I loved it. So I did it off camera because it does take me a little while to do. I used the Anastasia number 12 brush. It took me a minute to find this brush actually, and I really like how the brows turned out. I feel like I have more control in the inner portion here. I'm able to just create a more precise yet faded brow. So I don't know. So far, so good. So I think I'm gonna do the eyes first. I really wanted to dip into the Glossier Stretch Concealer. Now, I've actually never used this on the eyelids before, I don't think. I usually like to use a different kind of concealer for my eyelid, but I'm just gonna go with it because this is the concealer that I wanted to use again today. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my sponge, dip directly into the concealer, and press it all over the eyelid to cancel out any redness and discoloration. I was going through my powders and I found this, the Cover FX Translucent Powder. Wow, it has been a hot minute since I've used this. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip a smaller brush into this powder, and I'm gonna go ahead and set the concealer on the eyelid so that we have a nice prepped base for eyeshadows. There we go. All right, let's go into the eyeshadows. I really wanted to use the ColourPop Dream Street palette for this tutorial. I know this isn't a major throwback compared to some of the other eyeshadow palettes that I own. However, I love it so much, and it's been quite a while since I've done a tutorial on it, and I know a lot of you guys probably own this palette, so might as well do another video with it. I'm gonna go ahead and go into this color right here. The second shade is called Magical, and I'm gonna take that and start to buff it through the crease, kind of as our transition shade. Seriously, you guys, it's been so long since I've used this. I'm also going to go ahead and kind of buff it into this inner portion of the lid right here, all the way out toward the end of the brow. I feel like my hair is a little bit frizzy right now because I actually just got out of the shower and I blow dried it, but it's not all the way dry yet. So sometimes when I let it air dry a little bit, it gets a little frizzy. Next, I'm going to go into this shade right here. This one is called Shooting Star. And I'm just going to further deepen up the crease with that shade. And I'm also going to kind of bring it on this outer corner here. Next, I'm going to go into this gold shade right here. This is called Sweet Dreams. And I'm going to take this on a flat brush, and I'm going to start to press it on the lid. I might end up using my finger with this shade. Yes, that works way better. So I'm going to go ahead and start to press that on the lid just with my finger. Next, I'm going to go into this shade right here. I'm just going to pop that kind of a little bit further over than the center, just to add a little pop of rose gold right in that area of the eye. Then I'm going to take the darkest shade in the palette, this brown. It's called Elfish. And I'm going to tap off the extra, and I want to run this across the lash line as an eyeliner. So I'm just kind of smudging it along. And I'm not going to be too worried about the edge yet. I'm going to clean that up with a makeup wipe. So I'm just really going to buff it out toward the end, and we can definitely clean that up in a minute. I'm just going to do the same thing on this eye. So now I'm going to clean up the under eye area, and I'm going to sharpen that wing eyeliner that we created with the eyeshadow just by using the makeup wipe. I'm going to take my finger to pat down the edge so it doesn't go out too far. I'm actually going to apply mascara. I thought I would use this. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. It's the original formula and it is so good. It's such a classic. I'm going to really layer this up on the top lashes. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and prep the skin. I wanted to use the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is something that I used forever ago on my channel, and it has seriously been forever since I've used it. Just the smell brings back so many memories. I'm gonna go ahead and massage that into the skin. Honestly, you guys, these videos are so fun for me to film because I just love to go back to products that I used to be obsessed with. It brings back so many memories and it's so fun, and it just makes me really creative too. It's good to switch things up sometimes. So I found this the Hourglass Illusion Hyaluronic Skin Tint. It is pretty much used up. I used to love this. It's been forever since I've used it. So I really wanted to give this another go. I don't even remember how I used to apply it or how much I used to use or anything. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to kind of dot a little bit on the face, and I'm going to go ahead and use my Real Techniques buffing brush. I don't remember if I used to use a brush or a sponge. Also, the last time I used this, my skin was not as clear as it is now, so I feel like I could even like it more since I probably won't need as much as I used to. We shall see. I'm just going to go ahead and keep buffing this on the face. Hourglass is coming out with a new foundation and I'm so excited to try it. It's supposed to be like a liquid version of the stick foundation, which I love, and pretty much everybody loves it who tries the stick foundation. But anyways, I'm really excited to try that out because Hourglass just makes the most beautiful products. This foundation smells like sunscreen. I mean, I guess it's not a foundation technically. It is pretty full coverage though for being a tinted moisturizer. See, I can really build it up if I want to. And I think that's why I used up so much of it even though I did have worse skin before. I think it's because it builds up really nicely. I was able to get quite a bit of coverage from it. All right, now for concealers, I'm going to take the Glossier Stretch Concealers. I have 2 shades. I'm going to kind of mix the two. I just dip my sponge directly into it and I'm going to mix the two to go over blemishes, and then I'll use the lighter one for just under the eye area. All right, now we're going into just the lighter shade for under the eyes. All right, now I'm going back into the Cover FX setting powder. I'm just trying to lock in the under eye area. I feel like everything got very dewy very quickly. So now I'm taking a bigger fluffy brush and just setting the rest of the face because like I said, things got dewy very quickly, which is not a bad thing, but I definitely do want to set the makeup in a little bit more just to make sure it doesn't slide around. Hopping back into the Dream Street palette, I'm going to take this pretty teal shade. It's called Mermaid Boy, and I'm just taking that right up against the lash line, all the way across on that lower lash line, just to add a little pop of blue. And then I'm going to take this shade right here. This one's called Kaleidoscope, and I'm adding this to the inner corner of the eyes and also connecting it to the blue along the lower lash line a little bit. I'm just taking the first brush that we used as our transition on the top lid, and I'm adding that same shade right underneath the blue on the lower lash line, just so that it's not just the blue on the lower lash line. We have something else underneath it to help define the eyes a little bit on the lower lash line. And then I'm just going to pop that same mascara that we used before on the lower lashes. I couldn't resist to pull this out again once I saw it. This is the NARS Bord de Plage palette. It is a limited edition palette. I know a lot of you picked this up if you followed me when I talked about it, so maybe you do have this. If not, you can use your favorite bronzer or highlighter if you're following along with this tutorial. I just really hate that it sits on the side so much because I stopped using it once it went out of stock, just because I don't always want to use things that you guys can't get your hands on if you're interested in it. But for this video, since it's a full face of nothing new, it's coming back. I'm bringing it out of the woodworks. I'm just going to use this to bronze up the skin. I'm mixing both bronzers and I'm adding it to the forehead, around the cheeks, along the jawline, under the chin, and down the neck. While we have the palette out, I'm going to mix all 4 of the highlighters in here, and I'm going to use this to highlight the face. It has been so long since I've used these highlighters. I love them so much. I wish that NARS would bring this back as a permanent item because it is just so divine. It's so beautiful. I'm also highlighting down the center of the face. Oh my goodness, I love that highlighter so much. Wow, it's been so long since I have worn it. For blush, I'm going to dip into the Physicians Formula Butter Blush in the shade Vintage Rouge. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop that on the apples of the cheeks. I'm also going to pinch the brush and just kind of add the same blush right here on the eyelids. That just kind of ties everything together. And then for lips, I've been dying to use this again. I know I've used it so many times on my channel. It's the Tarte Tarteist Lip Paint in the shade Bestie. It's one of the best lipsticks that's ever been created in my opinion, and I've missed it, so I'm gonna wear it. Honestly, this lip color is so good. I'm gonna go ahead and top off the eyebrows with the Glossier Boy Brow, and I'm using the shade Blonde today. I'm just gonna run that through the brows to add back a little bit of texture. Alright, so I'm taking the brush that we used to set the face, and I'm going over everything just to make sure that there's not any harsh lines. I feel like my lips are dry right now since we're in the middle of winter, so I think I'm going to add a gloss, and I want to find a gloss that maybe I haven't used in a while. Let's see. There isn't an older one near me, but I do have this Bite Beauty lip gloss. I don't know if I've used this in a tutorial. Have I? I don't know. It's in the shade Flat White. I picked this up because so many YouTubers were raving about it. I picked it up a long time ago, and I actually need to wear it more than I have been. I feel like I haven't given it a fair shot, but I'm just gonna go ahead and dab it on the center of the lips and then use my finger to blend it out. I'm gonna build it up a little more. That gives the lips a little bit more of a sheen. It's not a gloopy gloss finish, but it definitely looks more hydrated and it feels more hydrated on my lips. I'm adding a little more bronzer. And that's it, you guys. That completes this look. I love how it turned out. I love doing these videos. Honestly, these videos are serious therapy for me. Makeup in general is already therapeutic for me, but I feel like when I'm able to sit down and not worry about new products or reviewing something, and I can just play around with things that I used to love, I feel like I can really just relax, and I love it so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you were able to relax and you were able to use some of your old favorites as well. As always, comment down below letting me know what old product you would like to see me use again, or if there's an old product that you have recently fallen back in love with. What is it? I want to know. So leave that in the comments down below. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber and you want to join the notification squad, click on the bell after you subscribe, and you'll be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays when I upload my videos. Side note, I feel like I put too much concealer on the under eye area. It's been a while since I've used this Glossier Stretch Concealer, and I really feel like less is more with that, so I just wanted to kind of let you know that that's something that I would change if I were to do this look again. Anyways, that's it. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you all in my next video. Love you. Bye!